So the fourth video we have in this series about spirit beings, working with spirit guides, spirit helpers, is all about working with angels, deities, etheric beings, ascended masters. It's the sort of category of other. And I could talk individually about all these groups of beings, and probably at some point I will, but I'm going to, just for today, because it's sort of an introduction topic, I'm going to talk about working with these sort of higher realm, high vibrational spirit beings. And so many of us, depending on your cultural background, feel very comfortable working with beings known as angels or ascended masters or gods and goddesses, or some people even like to talk to aliens that have a very good reputation. Not all of them do, but some of them do. And or even mythical creatures, things like that, working with other realms. So depending on where you are, you know, I live in America. It's a very sort of Christian background. And so a lot of people, they feel comfortable with the concept of having a guardian angel. And so when we work with the angelic realm, there's all different types of angels, from just your basic like guardian angel. It was a huge concept. I grew up in Catholic school. Everybody talked about angels and having guardian angels. And so they very much come in and help people. They give you direct messages. They often can be a spirit guide for you. There's also working with, for example, archangels, Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Michael. I have so many people call in Archangel Michael for protection. And when you call in an archangel, it's an archangel. You see them, they're associated with color. For example, Michael is blue, but he's got a whole army of people that work with him, and they protect you. I've gotten direct messages from Michael. Not all the time, but once or twice. I mean, he showed up to me and told me something, and that's been really incredible. And there's all different archangels, you know, Shemuel and Uriel and Metatron and that sort of thing. So depending on, you know, what you feel comfortable with, you can work with these high vibrational angels. A lot of people feel very comfortable talking to the angels. A lot of people actually feel very connected to the angelic realm, and that's a really wonderful place if that's what you feel connected to. Me, for example, when I started going to school, one of my first encounters was I was studying art and architecture of India, and I started getting visitations from the deities. The first being I ever saw was the Hindu god Krishna, followed by Shiva. And so I've had a lot of experiences working with gods and goddesses. That expanded to, I've seen Egyptian gods and goddesses. The Greeks talk to me quite a bit, working with gods and goddesses from all kinds of traditions. They give me very powerful messages, very clear, very detailed. They're not around all the time. They're not my primary guides, but they are there giving me messages. I have this really intense, powerful guide. I believe he's Hindu, but I also believe he's Persian too, and I've studied all the history of that, and there's a lot of connection in the ancient world and all the deities and stuff. And he helps me understanding karma and my shadow side and how this resulted with this. So I get a lot of that information direct from them. Another group that I really enjoy are the Ascended Masters. Ascended Masters are beings that have actually lived on Earth as incarnated as human spirits, and they've gone on to do great things, to change humanity, to shape humanity in a positive way, to leave a message. You know, many would consider Jesus to be an Ascended Master. Depends on how you look at it. Some see him as a deity or a son of God or whatever. The Buddha, Mary Magdalene, Mother Mary, even others like Leonardo da Vinci, just certain ones. Moses, figures from the Bible. I worked with Moses for a really long time. He has actually taught me a discourse on karma, and I kept seeing him alongside a Chinese philosopher. So a lot of the Taoist beings, they're sort of deities, some of them who were alive, you know, these great you know, example, in Buddhism, you have these wonderful teachers. They're sort of ascended masters now, and they can come and work with you specifically and share their wisdom and knowledge. And so I really like working with them. They're a very specific group of people. They usually come in, like, for example, I worked with Moses, who actually taught me Buddhist philosophy because he showed me that he's actually associated with Ascended Master Ling, who was also Nanda, the attendant for the Buddha. So he actually taught me about karma, which was fascinating, that I was learning about karma from Moses, which may seem weird to people, but that's what happened. And so he worked with me for about 3 years, and then he sort of moved on. But he's still there. But when I go visit him, I don't visit Moses, I visit this ascended master. There's also working with like mythical creatures as well. I have a unicorn, for example, that takes me to the Akashic records. And some people channel these alien groups, and so, you know, you can do a lot of research on that. I don't work with them so specifically. I do have a few that I work with. But you know, when you work with alien groups, you really need to know who you're working with, because some are extremely high vibration and then some are not. So yeah, there's all different ways for you to get your spiritual help. If you're not into spirit guides, you're not into ancestors, you don't work with animals so well, but you're 100% into the ascended masters, absolutely. People love channeling information from them. They really help us. They help us grow as a society. So yeah, there's all kinds of things, all kinds of ways for you to talk to spirit. All you have to do is really make sure and ask and say that you only want to work with benevolent beings of the light. If you're worried about it, you know, you can always put up that wall of protection, and they have to honor that. So yeah, you can start channeling and get huge pieces of wisdom. I would go to sleep at night and wake up and just like have huge downloads of knowings about things. And I believe that I was going and working with these beings. I was being taught. Sometimes I would see myself in a classroom in a dream, like learning things. So yeah, so that's my thought about that. I think I'm going to do another video in the series and help you, little guided meditation, help you get in touch with any one of these beings. So stay tuned for that. I'm Beth Ann Kennedy. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. You can follow me at Pink Heart Healing. Sign up for my newsletter. You can follow me on all forms of social media and put things in the comments about what you want to watch next. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day.